Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to our latest, newest, greatest presentation, Interview Membership Site Secrets, how to create a highly profitable membership site exclusively by interviewing other people to create all of your content. So let's just dive right in with no further ado, and let's just talk for a minute about why you want a membership site. Well, creates recurring revenue. End of slide. No, I'm just kidding. Recurring revenue. It's awesome. You don't start over at the beginning of every month with zero, which when you're just selling a product with no kind of recurring revenue, no kind of recurring billing, then you're starting over with zero every single month, which kind of sucks. Predictable income, because unless you do something to piss off all your members, pretty much you should have 95 to 98% of the same members next month that you have this month. Easier cash flow planning, fewer peaks and valleys. The way most people live their lives on the internet is either from one of those situations where it's, launch product, or running ads and struggling through seasons and stuff like that. Much easier to plan your cash flow. And in my opinion, this is one of the most important reasons, is you spend more time helping people and less time selling every single month. And I think the vast majority of us here are more interested in helping people to get what they want than we are worried about trying to put the hard sale on everybody every month. And also, it enables you to have more fun. I will tell you, I've had a lot more fun with my membership sites than I have with anything else, because it enables you to build a relationship with people, and it helps you to really feel like you're making a difference and have a good time. So what membership sites have done for me, I'm not going to get into showing you my bank statements or anything like that, but I have two main membership sites that I've had over the years. I have the Net Reporter, which we all refer to as TNR. Started that actually on June 6th, 2006. It has run continually since then. Has generated a very, 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 very healthy six figures for me in my business. Easy Online Wizards, we started that in 2012. That has been very nice as well. And interestingly enough, TNR is based around information and teaching, and Easy Online Wizards is based on software as a service. So either one of those has worked really, really well. The key is, though, what membership sites have done have been really the lifestyle that they allow you to have, even if it's just part-time. Because even if you could just, on the low side, even if you could just get 100 people paying you $20 a month, that would be an extra $2,000 a month. Would an extra $2,000 a month make any difference in your life whatsoever? Now, that's not an income claim or anything like that, but just so that we know that we're all having some interaction here, would an extra couple $1,000s a month make a big difference in your life? Yes or no in the Q&A box. I'm just curious. Some people are like, oh, I'll tell you, I'm going to make $1 million with the membership site. And I remember the first time I made $2,000 in a month, I was more happy than when I made $20,000 in a month. So everybody's saying, yeah, absolutely, would make a big difference. Okay, cool. So quick question as far as making sure that I do this for you guys in a way that I customize this as much as possible, because truth be told, this is the first time I've done this presentation. When I talk about membership sites, what is your number one concern or question that comes to mind on the topic of membership sites? What makes you just kind of go, holy crap? And Malcolm says content. William says constant content. David says creating content. Having new content, niche, finding compelling content, keep the value, evergreen content, getting members. It was going too fast. Terry says, will they pay consistently, being timely with new content, designing the site, how much will it cost, worthwhile content? It seems to be like 5 out of every 6 are content, or maybe 9 out of 10. Some are saying business model. Cool. So we're going to talk a lot about content, and we're also going to talk about some cool models to think about with content. And again, just a really quick poll, and this one will be on your screen, actually. Let me just put it up there and launch it. I'm just curious, do you already own the Expert Interview Wizard or the 3-Hour Kindle Book Wizard software? So all you guys that are on my list, you've heard of my wizards and stuff. I need you to just answer right there on the screen, so I just know who's here, because originally this was intended for people who already bought that. Kat says yes, it rocks. Gene says yes. Hal says not yet. Lynn says yes. So just vote on the screen though, please, so I can see. And I'll show you guys the results. But we got almost half the people here already have one or the other of them. So we got 65% of the votes in, so that's close enough. And so we'll close it because we don't want to look at polls because we're looking at enough polls in our lives right now. But I'll just show you the results. 43% say yes and I love it. 34% say don't own it yet. And 23% say don't know what that is. So cool. So there's something here for all of you guys. So let's keep going. Here's the problem. The number one challenge with any membership site, and I'm speaking from personal experience as well as observing lots and lots of people with membership sites, my students, my colleagues, my peers. It's creating quality content consistently. You like that alliteration? I worked on that. Creating quality content consistently to keep your members happy and sticking with you every single month. That seems to be the big problem that everybody faces and worries about, and all the time and investment that they perceive that you got to put into it. So the solution, just right up front, I'm going to tell you, is to use interviews to create your membership site content. And I will tell you that I discovered this 3 years ago when I had a health issue. Maybe it was 5 years ago. God, 5. Anyway, I had a health issue and almost had to shut down the Net Reporter because I was just so sick for so long, for like a year. And we ended up doing a year's worth of interviews in order to save the site. And really tell anybody that's what we were doing. But that's exactly what we did. We used interviews to create our membership site content. Now, why do you want to use interviews? And the reason why you want to use interviews to create your membership site content is you don't have to be the expert to create the content. You pull it out of somebody's head. You just come up with the questions and you suck the content out of somebody else's noggin. And it gives you a lot more opportunity for a wide range of topics because you're not limited to just the things that you are an expert in. So that enables you to be able to serve people better. Now, you say there's all these questions that come up about interviews and all these other things, and we're going to answer those questions right now. So I'm going to lay it out for you step by step, exactly what you need to do to create a membership site using interviews as the core of your membership site right up front. Okay. And if you already have a membership site and you're struggling, you can easily just switch over to the membership model with interviews. So first thing you need to do, and this is key, is you got to have an awesome promise for what the membership site is going to do for your target audience, especially if you're doing interviews. You've got to have a big and sexy promise. You got to have a promise that's easy to understand, and it's got to be something that they really want emotionally. All right. And all of this ties into a big payoff. So what you want to do is you want to complete the phrase. Every month we're going to help you blank. Every month we're going to help you use media to build your business. Every month we're going to help you with how to build your dog training business. Every month we're going to help you with whatever the biggest honkinest promise that you can make to somebody who is in your target audience. What do they want? Another way to think about it is if you want blank, then this is for you. So if you want an amazing retail jewelry store business, then this membership is for you. I mean, just whatever it is. And throw me out a couple of, just for grins in the Q&A box, throw me out a couple of topics, because I always default back to the real estate example or online business or something. Throw some topics out there and I'll just try and brainstorm with those as we're going through. Okay, so direct mail success, bookstore, vacation rental owners, sports rehab professionals. Okay, let's do the sports and rehab professional thing, because I know nothing about that. So we'll test whether, if you want to explode your sports rehab business, then this is for you. If you want to build up an amazing sports rehab practice, then this is what we're going to do for you every single month. You just want to, the number one thing, you just got to come up with that amazing promise that's going to be the central idea of what your membership is about. Does that make sense? Because that's going to be the number one thing anybody's going to ask when it comes down to a membership site. What is that going to do for me every single month, right? Yes or no? So you got to have a cool honking promise. That's the number one thing. Does that make sense? Yes or no? In the Q&A box, respond. All right, cool. So let's keep going. The second thing you do, so the first thing you need is a cool honking promise. The second thing you need to do is you need to have a killer name for your membership site. All right. It's got to be memorable. It's got to sound cool. It's got to make sense. All right. So that's the thing. That's the second thing you got to do. First thing is what's the promise. Second thing is got to have a great name. Now there are a couple little formulas that you can use to come up with something real quick. So it's whatever your keyword is plus club, or your keyword plus academy, or who your target audience is. So, the Profitable Sports Rehab Academy. The Profitable Direct Mail Club, whatever it is, coming up with the name is the next step. Now it's got to be cool. The other thing is, and that's not on here, is you also got to make sure you can get the .com with it. So one of the things that if you're, and you want to keep it short as well. So let's say I was doing Real Estate Investor. Okay. So the Real Estate Investor Club. Now let's say that was taken. Well, then all you do is just stick some kind of an adjective on the front. So it's the Elite Real Estate Investors Club. It's the Profitable. And you say, well, that might be too long. Who cares? Doesn't matter. What you want to have is you want to have the name. And so club, academy, school, and I've even seen university, but I'm not a big fan of that. So, and one of the things you could do, and that's a good point, you could do, but just thinking about it this way. So that's the second thing. You got to have a cool name. That's the next thing. It's not hard, especially when you just look around. So, no, David, not Donald Trump University. It's not a good idea. So the third thing you need to do. So what was the first thing? You got to have a really cool promise. Second thing you got to do is you got to have a really cool, you got to have a really cool name. And then the third thing that you need to do is you need to define the pillar topics of your site. Because this is the thing. When you are creating your content every month and you're looking for people to interview, you have to have a core set of topics that you know you're going to pull from. Now, I learned this 16 years ago, however long it's been, when I started doing stuff. The first thing you got to, and then 10 years ago or 11 years ago when I started my membership site, whenever that was, you've got to have a core set of topics that you're going to cover. And I have them here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove this to you. I'm going to show you. I had to reach over on my thing. I'm going to show you. I wrote this. And if I'm going into too much detail here, then just tell me. But this right here, this piece of paper is where I wrote down the core topics for the Net Reporter. And I have had this hanging in front of my desk since June of 2006, if you can believe that, this piece of paper. And the reason for that is because I was scared that I was going to run out of stuff to teach. And then when I started writing down all the different stuff that I could teach about, all of a sudden I realized that I was never going to run out. So I'm just going to run through these real quick. So first was your mindset, and that was stuff like motivation and mental roadblocks. Your market, that's niche research, idea generation, native markets. Product creation, so that's affiliate marketing, your own products. Content creation, that's articles, blog posts, social media, webinars, teleseminars. Copywriting, sales letters, video sales letters, email marketing. Traffic generation, traffic conversion, testing, online mechanics. So basically anything to do with your website. HTML, then audio and video, and then list building, conversion, and follow-up. So when I saw that list, and that's the list I just showed you, I realized, hey, I'm never going to run out of stuff to teach. And if you're going to be doing interviews to create your content, you're never going to run out of topics to interview people about. It's never going to happen. But what you need to do is those first three things. Those are the keys to setting up a membership site that's going to work with doing interviews. You got to have an awesome promise. That's number one. Second thing you got to do is you got to have a cool name. And the third thing you got to do is have the pillar topics of your site, because this is also what's going to help sell people on your membership. So I stopped sharing my webcam so you don't have to look at my mug anymore. And like I said, as you can see, I've never run out of topics in over 10 years. And whether it's me teaching it or somebody else teaching it, or I've taught it and then I've had someone else teach it to give a different perspective, it doesn't matter. Now, the fourth thing you need to do is you need to choose your monthly publishing model. And there are basically three models that I have found work well, especially when we're talking about interview type content. All right. And the first is you do the big monthly interview. All right. So every month you have a theme, and then you interview somebody in depth on that particular theme. And then what you can do on your off weeks, because you wouldn't want to do a big interview every week because people would just get overloaded. Then you would do some quick tips or articles on the off weeks. So, and we always choose, we do the second week, the second Wednesday of every month is when we're doing stuff. We do our big webinar, and then we fill in with other things. Another model is to do what we call a weekly fireside chat. And basically what you do is you choose a different pillar each week, a different expert each week, but you don't do a giant hour and a half, 2 hour webinar interview type thing. You would do more a 20 or 30 minute thing where you'd get them to narrow in on a specific topic, one of your pillar topics, and a specific aspect of that. And then a third model, and this one actually, if you've never created a membership site and you're just starting out and you want to create one and you're not sure, this would be the best one. It's called a fixed term membership. And basically what you just do is you load in 6 to 12 interviews into an autoresponder and you sell people into the sequence. Now, fixed term means it lasts for 6 months or it lasts for 12 months. You might say, well, I don't want it to turn off after 12 months. Fine. You can still do it with an autoresponder. What you would do is you would just load in a couple, 3 into your autoresponder ahead of, before you started selling it. And then people join and you just have to stay ahead of the crowd. You just keep adding interviews to the autoresponder, and then it's real simple. Autoresponder sends out an email. Somebody joins on month 1, they get month 1. 2 months later, somebody joins, they get month 1, while the person who joined 2 months ago is already on month 3. And that's how it works. And they get an email. It's got a link to a page on your website where you deliver the content. Does that make sense? One of these models will work for you, but the key is that you're interviewing other people to do this stuff. And I see some questions that we'll definitely hit at the end. Now let's talk about how to quickly create content from interviews in 3 simple steps. I'm gonna give you an overview real quick and then we'll hit them specifically. Step number 1 is define the content you need. Step 2, recruit your experts. And step 3, create your questions, your interview questions, and do the interview. It is no more complicated than that. All right. So step 1, define the content that you need. So what that means is you first want to choose the pillar topic for the interview. That's why you got to have the list. So I want to interview somebody about XYZ. It's not about the overall topic of your site, but it's on one of your pillar topics so that we can get more specific. Second thing you got to do is decide what format the interviews are going to take. You got some choices. It can be audio, it can be video, it could be a webinar, it could be a teleseminar, it could be a live in-person video. It could just be plain text where you send somebody the questions and they answer them and send them back to you, which is perfect when you're doing tips or smaller content pieces. But for me personally, the one that I've always defaulted to has been webinars. Why? I don't know, just because I like webinars better. I do know why. I will tell you why. Would you like to know why I like webinars the best? Yes, no? Okay. A couple people are saying yes. The reason for it is because there's a deadline. That's the only reason I've really been able to stay in business this way, is because there's a deadline. There's a date. There are people going to show up, and I've got a time that I have to deliver. As opposed to when I was doing my when I was doing my membership site, and it was just, I have to do content this month. And it was like, well, what the hell am I going to do, and how am I going to do it? All of a sudden, by doing webinars and teleseminars, same thing. But by interviewing other people and by setting up the interviews, there's a deadline, there's an appointment, there's a time to show up, and it forces the stuff to get done. Now, since my health got better and everything's going better, I don't do as many interviews as I used to because I got a bunch of stuff to share, but it's the same thing. I'm just basically showing up and letting the PowerPoint interview me is really all we're doing. So that's why I like webinars so much, honestly, is because it forces me to get the damn thing done. So the next thing you got to do is just whatever you're doing, you choose your topic, you choose the format, and then you just got to decide on the length that you're doing, which is going to depend on what model you're using. So if you're going to do a full-scale interview, that's going to take 60 to 90 minutes. If you're going to do a fireside chat, typically that's going to be 20, 30 minutes. If you're going to do a quick tip or some kind of a quick article, then that's only going to take about 5 or 10 minutes worth of content. So that's the key, okay? And so, quick example, let me just show you how this would work. So let's say our pillar topic was marketing advertising. And let's say the subject was Facebook ads. So again, big pillar topic, going to teach about marketing and advertising, specific subject, Facebook ads or YouTube ads, or there's all kinds of stuff under marketing and advertising. And then the type, we're going to do a webinar interview, and the length is going to be full scale interview, 60 to 90 minutes. There you go. So now I know exactly what I'm going to be creating. So now I know the type of content that I want to create. And so next we got to go recruit our experts. So the thing you'll want to do is create your wish list for who you're going to interview. And what you want to do is you want to recruit your first 6 interviews. All right. And the reason you want to recruit your first 6 interviews, especially if you're starting a membership site from scratch, is so that you're not freaking out about who you're going to interview next, because you got stuff planned out. What I've learned in my almost 50 years on this earth is that when you plan stuff out a little bit better, you tend not to have those panicky moments in the middle of the night. Now, don't let that stop you if that's the only way you can motivate yourself. But my suggestion is you recruit your first 6 interviews. And also think in terms of interviewing the same people, good ones, a couple times a year. So you have regular contributors. It's just like on Oprah when she was on, or Dr. Phil, or any of these talk shows and stuff, is they have regular contributors that come on. Why? Because once you have your stable of thoroughbreds, you're golden. You know you can depend on them. They're not going to embarrass you. They're always going to deliver great content. They're going to give your people what they need. People, your subscribers like them. There's just all kinds of good reasons to have regular contributors. And so you want to pick out your first 6. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you want to know a cool secret? And you got to tell me in the Q&A box. Say, yes, Jim, I want to know a cool secret. Because people are already freaking out about how do I get people to let me interview, and where do I find people, where do I find experts, people let me interview them, okay? All right, everybody wants to know. That's good, because I've been giving you cool secrets all along. So yes, okay, here's the cool secret. This is actually a priceless golden nugget. Would you like to know where to find thousands of potential experts that you could interview? Would you like to know that? Okay, you got to tell me yes. So why? Okay, si, senor, even better. It is right in front of your face. It's called Amazon.com. All right. And all those authors want to plug their book. They have been taught if you want to sell your book, you go do what? You do interviews. So you go to those authors who are experts in your pillar topics and you interview them and you let them plug their book. That's how you pay them. You don't pay these, and I've got a whole training and stuff on this. I'm not going to get into this, but I'll just tell you straight up front. You don't pay them any money to let you interview them. The way you pay them is to say, look, I've got students that are interested in this topic, my members, and we'd like to interview you on this topic. Here are the questions, and this is what we want to talk to you about, and you can plug your book. All right. And if you don't have a list, it doesn't matter, because then you would tell them, and we're going to promote this to our students as well as make it part of our ongoing marketing efforts. There you go. Nobody's going to ask you how big's your list. They might ask you how many members you have, and then you just say, well, we're growing all the time. Okay. So the bottom line is that's what you do. Don't overcomplicate this. All right. If you don't have a list, it doesn't matter. All you tell them is, we're going to make it part of our membership, and it's going to be part of our ongoing promotion. So you should see sales for a long time to come. There you go. That's it. That's all you got to say. Don't get yourself all worked up about this, because it ain't hard. There's thousands of people, especially on Kindle, that want to share their story and they want to pump their book, and they can answer questions. All right. Everybody with me? Are you good? Yes or yes? All right, good. Let's keep going. Don't make me get upset. All right, so before we get to step 3, are you guys enjoying the webinar? You digging this? You liking it? It's more like a brainstorming session. I wanted it to feel like a brainstorming session. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Step 3 now. All right, so let's just recap real quick so everybody understands or remembers. All right, step 1 is basically you want to define the content that you need. Step 2, you're going to go recruit your experts. And step 3, create your interview questions and do it. The other reason I told you, we'll go back here real quick because I'm in control. The reason you want to recruit your first 6 interviews is so that you can knock them out up front. And so you can just have them done. And that means you can just drop them on people when they first come in, no matter which model you use. When you're first getting started, you want to focus on marketing rather than worrying about creating the content. So you get all the bunch of content done up front, and then you start dropping it on your members. Does that make sense? It's a lot easier, a lot less stress than trying to do all at once. So step 3 is you create the interview questions and you do it. And you create them based on the topic and length of the interview. So you just create the questions, you do the interview, and then you share the content with your members. So that's what you need to do. And we need to spend some time on creating the right interview questions and doing that. And what I want to do is share with you the easy button for getting your interview prep done super fast. And it's called the Expert Interview Wizard. A lot of you here already have it, and I want to show you how to use it for this specific purpose. And I want to show you some shortcuts you may or may not be aware of. And those of you that don't own it, you're going to see a cool demo of a tool that's going to make your life super, super simple, because you can take care of making all these questions and everything in about 5 minutes. So what I was hoping we could do is have a volunteer, which would be kind of cool. So if you want to volunteer, tell me in the Q&A box. Don't just say, yes, pick me. Tell me what your topic is, your topic and your target audience. And then we'll see. So if you want to volunteer, and it ain't hard and it doesn't hurt. So don't take that out of context. I'm going to take a cup of coffee. So what would be the topic you'd want to create a membership site around? Let's see. Self-defense, aspiring writers, where to begin. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. So this would be for aspiring writers. Okay, so Deb, do you have your thing turned on. Hey, Deb, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. I can hear you. You've officially volunteered. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use the Expert Interview Wizard to create a couple of different interviews for you super, super quick. And then we'll show people how it works. Is that cool?
That's cool, and I own that, so I'll be planning to use it.
Oh, and then you're going to ask me to send you the project file. If you ask nice, I'll send it to you when we're done.
Okay. Well, you know me. I'm always nice to you.
No. Okay. So this is easy. This is like a gimme. This is like the SATs. All you got to do, the first one is who's going to host the interview. So there we go. We'll fill in your name. All right. We're
You spelled it right. Yay.
I do what I can. You've been a customer for a long time. I know your name.
I have since like 1990 something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Okay. So, what's the name of your membership site going to be? And you can make it up if you want. It doesn't matter.
I can make it up.
Sure. How about Elite Writers Academy?
Let's do that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. And I guess it doesn't need to be possessive. We'll just go with that. Okay. So Elite Writers Academy. Okay. And so now, who would be somebody that you would want to interview on the top on a topic?
It would be a fiction writer.
Okay.
Let's fantasize and say J.K. Rowling, all right? That's a fantasy.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, cool. I mean, that would be awesome if you could. I mean, we can come up with a cool interview and you can send it to her and ask her if she'd do it. What's the worst thing that happen? Okay, so the target audience singular for this interview is aspiring author. Is an aspiring author? Okay. And then again, this is easy because we do a singular and we do a plural. All right. And what would the keyword theme of this be? So in 2 to 3 words, in a nutshell, this interview with J.K. Rowling is going to be about what? Writing better fiction?
How to get started writing fiction.
Okay, we're going to do that. That's going to be the payoff. So what we want is something, just like, look at the examples, online ad writing, public speaking, content marketing. So it would be, it would be fiction writing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I try and make this easy peasy. So now,
I'm not trying to make your life rough. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You're doing great. The worst thing that happens is you put something in that doesn't make sense. You come back and change it. I mean, it's
true.
I made this so I could use it. So now the main topic or thrust of the focus of the interview. This interview will focus on what? Now you said something similar before. How to what? You said how to what?
How to get started.
Okay.
How to get started writing fiction.
Okay. All right. And then the payoff, and we may end up switching these, so not a big deal. So the big payoff, usually a how-to type thing, a big payoff. Due to this interview, you will understand or discover how to what? So how to drive more traffic, how to convert, just all kinds of stuff. So thinking of this term of let's change this to getting started writing fiction. All right.
Yeah.
Just for fun. And then you will understand how to what? What would be the biggest how to you'd want to know from her? How to turn your book into a mega blockbuster bestseller?
How to... She never gave up, and that's kind of what's working in my mind.
Ooh, so how about how to persevere, even when it seems like Voldemort is going to Avada Kedavra you. So how to persevere, what you tell me. It would be how to persevere what?
Like how to persevere.
How do you spell persevere?
Perse. No, there's no F.
Persevere?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's good. Rob said, and keep writing no matter what.
That's it. Thank you.
Way to go, Rob Moon. You rock. All right. And the last thing is, this is where we bribe them. This is where we bribe the person we're interviewing, okay? And so for more info, check out what? So again, this is why we go after authors and content creators and experts and stuff, because they all got content, they all know stuff, they all suck at marketing, and they've been told go do interviews so that you can promote your stuff. So what do they want to do? They want to promote their stuff. So we won't mean, obviously she knows how to market, but we'll just put in, check out JK.
Tell her how to market.
Rolling's blog at www.jkrowling.com. Is that cool?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. We're done. Let's save this. I just gotta save this. Where's my thing? Sorry. Got too many wizards.
You can never have too many wizards.
That's what I think. Okay, so now we save this, and the cool thing is now we're just going to push build. This is where, I don't know how long that took. I mean, I think that took 8 minutes. I should have had somebody, and we were just bantering back and forth.
I didn't even think it took that long, but it could be.
Okay, so just to show you guys, when you hit that build button, you're going to see a bunch of stuff. And again, a bunch of you own this, a bunch of you don't. But the thing you want to review is the quick start guide that's on right here on the dashboard for the Expert Interview Wizard. And which, by the way, if you own Expert Interview Wizard or if you own 3-Hour Kindle Book Wizard, you have access to Expert Interview Wizard.
That's right.
So with the Quick Start Guide, tells you all the different stuff that it does, but it's got a page that explains each of the types of interviews. Now, you can actually interview J.K. Rowling like a dozen different times because each one of these will create a completely different interview track based on the topic. So you could do beginner's guide, you could do book review, critical skills, FAQ, how they got started. To me, I would love this, the how'd you get started.
Yeah.
Mistakes, myths and misconceptions, new idea, product review, rules of the road, state of the union, step-by-step roadmap, tips and tricks. Can we do the how did you get started?
Absolutely.
Okay. So all we're going to do is we're just going to choose the interview. And the cool thing about this, again, those of you who own it, those of you who don't, you see a whole bunch of things here for each one. So we see how'd you get started? You got audience handout, we got bullets, we got chapter titles, we got fast blab, we got interview, and we got quick questions. So the interview is the full length one. The quick questions one is just all the questions from everything. And you can build, basically like build a bear, build an interview. And then the fast blab one would be a quickie. So let's just do the interview one. We'll just do the full interview. And so basically what this does is it creates an entire interview for you based on what you put in to be able to interview somebody on this particular track. So, hi everyone and welcome to the Elite Writers Academy. Today's interview is sponsored by J.K. Rowling's blog at jkrowling.com, helping aspiring authors with how to persevere and keep writing no matter what and other important fiction writing topics. Check out J.K. Rowling's blog at jkrowling.com for more. The title of today's interview is How to Get Started with Fiction Writing, an interview with J.K. Rowling. Hi, my name is Deb Gallardo, and today I'm talking with fiction writing expert J.K. Rowling on how she got started with writing fiction. Or got started with fiction writing, and so this needs just a little, just fiction writing. Boom. Take that out. Welcome, J.K. is well known on the subject of fiction writing, is graciously consented. So, I mean, you would modify this a little bit, but I mean, it's got the whole thing. So tell us a little bit about yourself and experience education, experience writing fiction. How'd you get started? What roadblocks did you face? What tools, resources did you use early on? So, I mean, this creates a complete customized interview that you can do that's based about how'd you get started. And if you need more questions, it's got all kinds of extra ones here at the end. Now, I want to show you guys something cool. Who would be somebody else that you would want to interview on the same topic?
I'm trying to do 6 things at once. You've never had that problem, have you?
Just pay attention to what I'm doing. So who would be somebody else? Who would be somebody? James Patterson, Virginia says. James, oh my God, Virginia and Tim said the same thing, one right after the other. James Patterson. So you need to interview James Patterson, obviously.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to join. I'm just telling you what to do now. It's like, I'm not really a volunteer, Jim. I'm just a victim. So we changed this to James Patterson. Everything else stays the same except for
His website.
his website. So we do James Patterson at jamespatterson.com. I don't know if that's it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, now we're going to save this under a different name, obviously. So we'll call this Deb James Patterson. All right. And so now let's choose a different one. So how about mistakes that fiction writers make?
Yes.
All right. So now we'll do the mistakes one with James Patterson. Again, I mean, this thing does a ton of different stuff, and I don't want to belabor it. But I want you to see how
We did it all.
once you did this, how easy this makes your life. So, hey everybody, and welcome back to Elite Writers Academy. Today's interview is sponsored by James Patterson blog at jamespatterson.com, helping aspiring authors with how to persevere and keep writing no matter what. The title of today's interview is 3 Fiction Writing Mistakes Every Aspiring Author Needs to Avoid. Hi, my name is Deb Gallardo. I'm talking with fiction writing expert James Patterson. So it's got your intro. Now, we get the background. Tell us about yourself. Oh, crap. What'd I do there? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, what's the number one mistake aspiring authors make in the area of writing fiction? So with him, we're going into mistakes. With J.K. Rowling, the first question was, how's the world of fiction writing different when you got started? If you had to start all over again with fiction writing in today's world, what should aspiring authors focus their efforts on? With him, we're getting into what's a mistake they make that causes them to fail? What's a mistake they make where they think they're actually doing the right thing? What are other major mistakes? Now, let's do this one more time. I want you guys to see how much this is going to save you. Let's do Stephen King, because a bunch of people said Stephen King as well. Now, if we interviewed Stephen King, all right, and we'll just put stephenking.com at the end, based on, we'll save this. The biggest thing is just saving it. You don't want to overwrite. But you see, the only thing I'm changing is the name of the person and where we're sending them at the end. What would be the type interview we'd want to do with Stephen King? Like State of the Union? Tips and tricks. There you go.
Yes.
He'd do tips and tricks. So let's do the interview with Stephen King, and we'll do tips and tricks. All right. So here's a whole new interview. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Elite Writers Academy. Okay, today's interview. Oh, crap. Did I go to the right one? Nope. I didn't. I must not have saved it. Oh, because I didn't change it over here. Duh. I changed the thingy, but I didn't change the Stephen King thing. It just goes to show that if you don't put it in the right way, you can still screw it up.
But fix it quickly.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is that instead of having to retype everything, all I do is just regenerate it. And it's done. Okay, so here we go. Welcome back to Elite Writers Academy. The title of today's interview is Fiction Writing Tips, Tricks, and Secrets. Stephen King reveals how every aspiring author can persevere and keep writing no matter what. Bam! Well known. So here you go. Tell us a little about yourself. So you always get the background, and then we get into the stuff. So what's a tip you wish someone had shared with you about fiction writing when you first started out? I'd want to know that from Stephen King. All right.
Right.
What's a cool trick you figured out or discovered with fiction writing that would really help aspiring authors to get started with writing fiction? I'd want to know that. What's a secret every aspiring author needs to know when it comes? I'd want to know that. Any other juicy tips and tricks? Anything I haven't asked you? And now we got a whole bunch of other ones. You know, what are some tools or resources where do you see people wasting a lot of time? What are big challenges right now? This would actually, to me, of the 3 that we did, the other 2 were fine. But this one right here, if you could land this interview, I'd pay attention. I'd pay attention. So there you go. So we just made 3 complete interviews ready to go in like 16 minutes. I just want to show you guys a couple other things that it does. It'll write emails to the people to ask them to let you interview them. Let's ask Stephen King if he'll let us interview him. All right. Stephen King, would you do an interview with me? Stephen King, can I interview you? Stephen King, can I interview you for my Elite Writers Academy? Hey, Stephen, Deb Gallardo here with a quick question. Was wondering if you'd please let me interview you for my Elite Writers Academy. Your audience of aspiring authors would really be interested in what you have to say about fiction writing. The topic of the interview would be getting started writing fiction. Specifically, I would interview about how to persevere and keep writing no matter what. As part of the interview, we can definitely spend some time letting people know about Stephen King's blog. It's about your blog at stephenking.com. I mean, like he needs the publicity, but
Right.
the interview would only take about, you tell them how long, we can do the interview at your convenience on this date and time. I've attached a copy of the interview so you can see the questions are. I gladly supply you with a copy of the final interview once it's produced, so you can use it however you want. Please let me know if this is something you'd be up for. Again, I think it'd be a lot of fun and you could get some really good exposure. Is that a good email or what? I mean, that's
fabulous.
You could send that. I mean, as is with no editing. And again, go ahead. What?
I said, that's right.
Kat Sturt says, I did an interview with Stephen King for one of my young writer books several years ago. He's approachable. There you go.
Okay.
So dream big, baby. Now, I mean, this will write, if you need to generate other titles for your interviews, it does that. Need to promote them, it does your stealth closes. It'll do, it does everything for asking for referrals. So if you knew somebody who knew Stephen King, you could watch this. I can't spell referral, but I just want to show you some of the stuff that this can do. If you knew, so you could do, Kat, can you introduce me to Stephen King? Hey, Kat, Deb here with a favor to ask. I want to interview Stephen King about fiction writing for my Elite Writers Academy. I think my audience of aspiring authors really like to learn about getting started writing fiction. Plus, we'll be able to let them know more about Stephen King's blog at stephenking.com. Do you think you could please introduce me to him or forward this email to see if there's any interest? I think doing an interview, I mean, boom, it's written. I mean, if you know somebody who knows somebody, it'll write the email for you. It'll write your sales copy and stuff for you. It'll do a ton of different stuff. So, it has the ability to write the sales copy for you with a companion piece of software called the Expert Interview Sales Wizard, which comes with this. So, everybody give Deb a big round of applause. You did great, Deb. I appreciate it. Awesome.
Thanks.
And I
Glad to help out a buddy.
I appreciate it. And if you want, I'll send this to you. I mean, it might be fun. Okay, cool. I will send this to you, so I'm going to mute you back out, Deb. Thank you again. It's cool talking to you.
I have to run now. I have to have a CT scan.
Well, I will say a prayer that everything goes great, and thank you.
Thanks.
Let me know how it goes.
I will.
Okay, bye. Okay, so everybody's saying thank you, Deb. Cool, bravo, all that good stuff. This thing does a ton of really cool things. I just want you to see how easy that would make your life to basically do a whole bunch of different interviews and it'll make your life super, super simple. Now, I'm going to spend the next, just so you know, okay, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes telling people about this software, which half of you guys already own, and I'm going to make you a special deal on it in case you'd like to get a copy. Is that fair? Everybody say yes or no in the Q&A box. Everybody is like, I already own it. I don't need to know. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. All right. So basically, this is your chance to put the Expert Interview Wizard to work for you. And basically, the Expert Interview Wizard gives you everything you need to produce and promote amazingly profitable interviews created in under 10 minutes without having to become an expert yourself in the process. And so what it does is it works on both PC and Mac. It's downloadable software. and it creates full interview versions, fast lab interviews, quick questions versions of all 13 interview types in text, DOCX, and PPTX format. I didn't even show you that. Here, let me show you this real quick. If you wanted to do the interview as a webinar, check this out. I'll just grab one of them. This will make the whole webinar for you. So, fiction writing mistakes every aspiring author needs to avoid. An interview with Stephen King. Welcome, Stephen King. Tell us about your background. Number one mistake. So it creates all the PowerPoint slides for you for every single one of the different webinars or every one of the different interviews. And you can do this. So it does that for you as well. I'm seeing questions coming in. I will answer all of them. Not a problem. But I just wanted to show you that it creates them in PPTX format, plus all the audience handouts for all 13 types of interviews. Plus it'll create customized ads, promo copy, email teasers, title templates, stealth closes, approach letters, referral request letters, confirmation letters, prep letters, thank you letters, everything you need to get somebody squared away to do the interview. So this Wizard, the Expert Interview Wizard software, carries a value of $497. And if you only got that, the bottom line is it'd be worth every single penny for the amount of time, energy, and effort it would save you. But that's not all. And so I'm also going to include a second wizard to actually write all your sales copy for you. And so this one, the Expert Interview Sales Page Wizard, which also works on PC and Mac, it creates all the sales copy you need to sell your interview content, including cover letters, sales copy, free offer sales letters, paid offer sales letters, video sales letters, headline templates, title templates, and more. This companion wizard carries a value of $497. But that's still not all, because I'm also including a third wizard specifically to help you to create Kindle books fast. And so the 3-hour Kindle book wizard, basically it works on PC and Mac as well. It creates 11 different customized interviews with 2 different links of each one. And it creates your cover letters, your author bio page, your book title templates, custom chapter titles, complete slide decks for all 11 interviews as webinars, plus custom book listing description for Amazon, stealth closes for content marketing, email messages, sales copy bullets, all that good stuff. You're going to get all 3 wizards today: the Expert Interview Wizard, the Expert Interview Sales Page Wizard, and the 3-hour Kindle book wizard. You're going to get all of those today, but you're also going to get some world-class training on how to use interviews to massively expand your business no matter what you sell, because you may still be asking, how do I really make money with interviews? How to actually conduct a great interview? How do I physically do interviews in person or over the phone? How do I package it up, publish it? How to actually sell it? And how do I get people to interview me so I can sell my books and courses and promote my membership site? And so as a bonus, I'm also going to include a complete training course called Expert Interview Secrets. It carries a $997 value. It's 6 modules, the big picture about interviews, how to do the interview, how to physically do an interview, publishing and packaging the content, selling the content, how to get people to interview you. So that means you're going to get the Expert Interview Wizard software. You're going to get the Expert Interview Sales Page Wizard. You're going to get the 3-hour Kindle book wizard. You're going to get the Expert Interview Secrets, all that, total value $24.88. And I just want you to think about, what's the potential worth to you? How much could you make from just one interview? How much is just one unique book of your very own worth to you as an expert? How much is just one promo of your book or your product or your membership site to somebody else's list worth to you? And as another bonus, I'm actually going to give you all of my live interview sessions for my own podcast. And I went through and did all 13 different interviews with 13 different, completely different experts. So I interviewed everybody from a public domain expert to a U.S. Navy SEAL. And you can watch over my shoulder and you'll be able to watch me actually do each one of the different interviews in the Expert Interview Wizard with different people. And it's pretty cool and very educational. So you're going to get all the software, you're going to get the training, the live interview sessions, total values $26.85. And, information alone, we've shared a lot of stuff with you in the last 56 minutes. But as you know, information alone isn't going to do it. This software is what's going to help you to be able to get everything done super quick so you can focus on, in this case, from the example of the webinar, getting your membership site rolls up and getting people to sign up for your membership site. Now, another thing that I have included are 16 real-world interview projects. And what that means is that I've used this software many times, and I'm including for you the actual interview files so that you can load them in and see what I put in there to interview people. So you can see how the 9 questions were answered, and then you're able to model that and actually, instead of looking at a blank piece of software when you first fire it up, even though you only got to fill out 9 things, you can load in other people's examples and be able to play with them yourselves. So you're going to get all the software, you're going to get all the training, you're going to get the real world project files, total value $26.85. For those of you, again, who want to create books fast, I've actually got some training that's tailor-made for you, because I have training that you'll have access to on how to create your own book, your own Kindle book in 3 hours flat using the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard. I have another bonus for you, 34 ways to make money with your own book without being on the New York Times bestseller list. Also, 17-minute book marketing, 10 ways to sell your book in 17 minutes a day or less, plus 15 mistakes ebook authors make. Total value, $97 for that one, plus some bonus interactive checklists for you. And so you're going to get everything here, total value, $3,073. It's worth every penny of that, but you're not going to pay that. You're not going to pay my accountant's price. You're not going to pay the regular price of $497 if you go to expertinterviewwizard.com. You're also not going to pay the $247 special webinar price that I normally charge when we're offering this to other people's sites, other people's lists. But today, for just $197 for a one-time payment, I'm making a special webinar offer when you go to expertinterviewwizard.com/Jim. Okay, so that means you're going to get everything here when you go to the expertinterviewwizard.com/Jim for just $197. Now let's talk for just a second about other stuff you could spend a couple $100 on. All right, so everybody can get their hands on $200. I don't care who you are. If you're hearing my voice right now, you can get your hands on $200. So if you don't want to spend it on this amazing software package deal and education and everything that's going to help you to do anything you want with interviews, then go spend your $200 on a pair of Beats by Dre headphones that are made in China by underage labor that have about $5 worth of plastic in them, and you sit on them and they're ruined. Or with Halloween coming up, you could spend $200 on this cool plush horse costume and run around the neighborhood. And if you came to my neighborhood, you might get shot, but that's, And my favorite is you could spend $200 on a single ounce of beluga caviar. You could spread that on about 3 or 4 Ritz crackers, eat it all up, and you would have amazingly expensive fish eggs in your tummy. So you now have 2 choices. All right. First option, do nothing and suffer from too much work, take weeks or months to get your first or next interview and struggle forever. Or pull the extra change out of your pocket, and for under $200, you can have all your book writing, content creation, and promo needs taken care of forever. And by the way, if I can't make you money, I don't deserve yours. So our guarantee is simple. If Expert Interview Wizard doesn't help you do exactly what we promise and so much more, you get a full and complete refund. So you have nothing to lose, everything to gain for using interviews to explode your business profits, no matter what business you're in. So again, that means you're going to get all the software, all the training, all the everything, $3,073 value, all this for just $197. And let's see what kind of questions, and stuff we got. Okay. And if I don't answer your question, ask it again. So does this work with Apple? Yes, these work with a Mac. Somebody says, what software do you recommend for an audio interview? I recommend doing your audio interviews at freeconferencecall.com. Freeconferencecall.com. You both just dial in on the phone and you do the interview that way. Is this a limited time offer? Is available long term? The offer I'm making here is a limited time offer. Let's see. Susan says, so many ideas going through my mind. Thanks for showing us how to use the amazing wizard. Cool. Craig says, you blow me away as always. Cool. Let's see. What about a presentation to other writers on PowerPoint? I think I answered that because I showed you it'll do it in PowerPoint. Hopefully it answered it. Let's see. I've got hundreds of things. Will it work with Teachables, not WordPress? It doesn't. I don't know what Teachables is, but the bottom line is you create the content and you publish it wherever and however you're doing it. So the answer would be yes. Somebody asked, what's the difference between this and the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard? Expert Interview Wizard is for putting together interviews that you would use for anything pretty much other than a book. 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard is for using interviews specifically to create a book. That's the difference. So there are some overlaps, but in the Expert Interview Wizard, you answer 9 questions, not like 9 questions. You answer 9 questions, and the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard, you answer like 25 questions. Somebody asks, is there a way to create a customized interview format inside the wizard? No, I don't have it set up in a way that you can put your own templates in there. But once you found a template once you had the questions and stuff the way you liked for a template, then you could just do and you saved it in Word, you could just do a search and replace. I know that's not the most elegant solution, but it would work once you get it the way you want. I hope that answers your question, Jen. Ted asks, so Wizard is only centered around authors, not products or service oriented? It can be centered around anything. I just happened to use Deb as the example. She was doing it with authors. I mean, if we wanted to change this to Elite Real Estate Investor Academy, and the topic, let's say we were going to go after, who's the rich, we'll just say Rich Dad. I don't remember that, Robert Kiyosaki, but God help me to spell his name. Target audience is real estate investor and real estate investors. The topic is real estate investing. All right. The main topic or thrust of this interview. This interview will focus on prospecting for sale by owners. And the big payoff is how to find hidden deals in your local market. And Rich Dad's blog at richdad.com. Okay, bam, we save this. And I don't know how long that took. That couldn't have taken more than a minute. All right, here we go. We're going to build a complete interview for the Rich Dad. We'll do the beginner's guide interview. Save this in the right spot. That's why this thing is so rocking, because it's so fast and they're all different. So here we go. Bing. All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Elite Real Estate Investors Academy. Today's interview sponsored by Rich Dad. Rich Dad's blog at richdad.com, helping real estate investors with how to find hidden deals in your local market and other important topics about real estate investing. So we would choose one, the beginner's guide for how to get started in real estate. The beginner's guide, in this case, it gives us 3 choices. We're going to do this one, the beginner's guide for how to find hidden deals in your local market. Hi, my name is Deb Gallardo. Today I'm talking with real estate investing expert Rich Dad about how every real estate investor gets started on the right track of real estate investing and obtain results. Bang, here we go. How'd you get started in real estate investing? What's the first step beginner real estate investors need to take in real estate investing and prospecting sale by owners? Bang. It will interview anybody about anything. So there you go. Next question. Appreciate these webinars, Jim. Even though I already own the wizards, I learn about awesome features I've never used or forgot about. Cool. All right. I want that. Expert interview secrets. All right. Well, you get it. Whether you've bought 3-Hour Kindle Book Wizard or you bought Expert Interview Wizard, you've got it. There will be a replay. Okay, Jim, where are the 16 real world interviews? Is there a link within the Wizard membership area? Hang on. Show you. So in here on the dashboard, we scroll down and you download the sample files, and they're right here. So they're right underneath where you download the software. That's where they're at, as they say in the popular vernacular here at home. Is this software the same as Funnel Scripts? No. No, Easy Online Wizards is completely different. Tim's asks, is Easy Online Wizards, is this more complete than this? No, Easy Online Wizards are like apps. And there's like 30 little apps in there, and these are specific software solutions for a specific purpose. Best way I can describe it. Angela said, fantastic training, I already bought EIW and can't wait to use it. I hadn't even thought about using it for membership site content creation. That's brilliant. Cool. Excellent stuff. Everybody's living it. Loving it. Gabrielle, question about a virtual assistant. Just contact our help desk and we'll let you know how that works. How do I log into your website to see if I already have it? You just log into the JimEdwardsMethod.com. Rob says, once again, Jim over delivers on quantity, quality, and price. Thanks, Rob. Let's see. Just contact Christina, contact our help desk. And if anybody, Susan, could you post the help? If anybody has a question about anything like a past purchase or something like that, you can contact us through our help desk, which is ebookfiresupport.com. And Susan will post that in there it is. It's already in there. So it's in the Q&A box. Carol says, haven't started my business yet. And where are interviews posted live or on blog? You would post for doing this for a membership site, you would set up hidden posts. You would have to set up your membership site. We use Wishlist Member, and they would be on pages that someone would have to pay to have access to. What type of site should we refer potential interviewees to? You could just put up a page on your site. Would you like to be interviewed for the Elite Real Estate something Academy? Just fill out the form and let us know. Berdine says, Jim, I already have Expert Interview Wizard. Does that mean I already have access to the other things in the offer? I have other wizards too. Yes. Everything I'm listing, if you've already bought it, then you have access to everything. And as we've added stuff, you get that too. Derek asked, podcast versus expert interview, what's the difference? The podcast interview wizard is just like the 3-Hour Kindle Book Wizard is aimed at writing a book. The podcast interview wizard, everything is aimed at creating a podcast. So it's a specific, and yes, there are a lot of similarities between podcast interview wizard and expert interview wizard, but it's different enough that it had to be two separate products, and it didn't think it needed to be included with this. But that's my honest answer, is that it's just a very specific version of expert interview wizard aimed at doing podcasts. Gabrielle says, I plan on buying a new computer in the next 2 months. Can I reinstall the software? Yes. Will I lose the work I've already done? Not if you save all of the of your project files, just like you would a Word document or anything else. When you install it on your new computer, you just load them in. I think I answered that about the difference between that and podcast. So will it use Keynote? Yeah, if you're using a Mac, then the PPTX files will open in Keynote. Can one insert images into the PowerPoint interview? Absolutely. It's purposely vanilla so that you can modify it any way you need to. I already have the wizard. How can I get the other products? Just log into the site and you can get it. If you have a question, just contact our support desk. Do we need releases from the people we interview? I can't give you legal advice. I would tell you that I don't get releases from people who are friends of mine that I know implicitly, that know that if they pulled a stupid stunt with me, like that, I would never speak to them again. I have done releases in the past with people that I didn't really know. But it was more in the form of an email where I told them what we were going to do with it, and we were going to, and that they were giving me rights to use it however I wanted, and I gave them rights to use it however they wanted. But I have used a formal release in the past, not very often though. But I'm not giving you legal advice, but I would tell you need to address that. Will this work on 2 different computers? You need to contact our help desk, and we'll tell you how we can work that out. Do you need to buy a new domain name every time you create a membership site? If it's going to be a different membership site, it should have a different, whole different identity. Yeah. Jan says, thanks for another great webinar. I already own this wizard and looking forward to getting the interviews. Carol says, how do you collect money for memberships, lead pages, PayPal? How do you get money? We collect all of ours through PayPal. We use Wishlist Member to do it. Can I do this on Facebook as opposed to a site? I guess you could do it with a private Facebook group. Sure. I think the biggest lesson with these wizards are keep using them. Don't let them just sit there on the internet. I agree, Craig. Okay. I already showed you where that was. Where's the 3-hour Kindle book wizard? When you log in, it'll show you when you go here. I'll show you real quick. If you already own Expert Interview Wizard, then when you log in, then you look at your wizard dashboard, and it'll show you all the stuff that you own. So once you've logged into the site and you go to Wizard Dashboard, it'll show you the stuff that you own. So it'll tell you to download the wizard. So that's how you get access to it. So you'll actually, when you buy this, you'll get 2 different memberships. One for the Expert Interview Wizard and one for a 3-hour Kindle book wizard. So, and again, if you have any problems, just contact us. Everybody's saying thanks. That's a little beyond the scope of this. And I answered that. What's different between this software and FunnelScripts? Same thing. It's, FunnelScripts is a bunch of little apps that do specific stuff, and these are more like complete software solutions. But they're different. All right. So where are all the instructions on how to use all this software? Right on the download pages. So there you go. I think that was it. So, the upshot is we got all the instructions you need. When you go on the dashboard for each piece of software, we got a quick start video. We got a quick start download guide. We got video tutorials where it breaks everything down. We got all it's got tons and tons of videos. It's all right there. It's all off of the, page. And you can see this is where you download the Expert Interview Sales Page Wizard. So everything's right there on that main page. So let's wrap this up. I appreciate it. Let's just summarize one more time. That means you're going to get the Expert Interview Wizard software. You're going to get the Expert Interview Sales Page Wizard. You're going to get the 3-hour Kindle book wizard. You're going to get the Expert Interview Secrets 6-part training, 13 live interview secrets, 13 live interview sessions, 16 real-world interview projects, 34 ways to make money with your own ebook, create your own unique book in 3 hours flat, 17 book marketing training, 15 mistakes ebook authors make, the interactive checklist, total value $3,073. Get it today for just $197 when you go to expertinterviewwizard.com/Jim. The only final thoughts I have for you guys is that I honest to gosh don't know how I could make it any easier for you. You saw the demo with Deb. That's what it does. It does exactly what I showed you, and then I redid the thing to interview Rich Dad right there. And Tommy, it does what it needs to do. And this is just another way to apply it to create membership site content, which is pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you enjoyed it. Great seeing y'all. Hope you have a great day. Go pick up the software if you don't have it yet. It's a great deal and make a big difference in your business. So I'm Jim Edwards, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye, everybody.